So I know what you're thinking. Why would somebody want to use a rather bizarre, strange, and wonderful toy like these? Today, I'm really excited because I'm going to be explaining the psychology behind why so many people and such a growing number of people are enjoying fantasy fetish. I have teamed up with the genuinely lovely company Nothasaur. I want to say a big thank you to them. I really, really wanted to make this video because here at Not Defining, we talk about those less talked about kind of taboo topics related with sexuality. And so I thought, what better topic to talk about than fantasy fetish? It's something not a lot of people kind of understand, but it's so fascinating. And so they've sent me these really rather amazing toys. Nothasaur, they are an award-winning company. They're so lovely. Check the link below if you're into it, because let me tell you, I've got so much to say. The first reason why so many people are into fantasy fetish is because it is really fun. Now, you might think to yourself, okay, seems obvious, still don't get it. Let me tell you. I will admit, this is not my thing, right? However, once I started to explore it, what I realized is that it's not just about a fantasy and it's not just about sex toys. It's about a community. Each product has its own story, its own character. They have like a whole community around it, a whole like subculture. And you order the products, they come with like, I got them here, like these really cool like extras. You get like bags with these characters on. It's all like really nice. You get like this little key ring. I can't show the whole thing, otherwise I'll get banned. You get these stickers, links with kind of anime, comics, Comic-Con, kind of cosplay, geek culture, gaming communities, and so much more. So really, all you're doing is you're bringing that love for fantasy and you're just adding a sensual or a sexual element to it. And so why not have fun? The second reason why so many people are into fantasy fetish is because it's different. It's exciting and it has to do with the unknown. So a lot of our fantasies in general are to do with the unknown. If you look at adult content sites, you will see that we often go for things that we don't have access to in our normal daily life. So the idea, for example, of having a sexual experience with an alien or a dragon, it's just new, it's just different. It's just exciting because it's unknown. The third reason is power and dominance. So power and dominance are a big theme in all kinds of sexual fantasies. Doesn't have to be, but it tends to come up. And if you imagine having sex with a human being, right, there's only a certain amount of power and dominance or submissiveness that human beings can have. However, if you imagine having sex or having a fantasy of having sex with a monster, right, you can make that monster as big, as huge, and as powerful as you want. Or perhaps a creature, an alien, a fairy, right? A little nymph, a little goblin, a little gnome, like whatever it might be, you can make them super small or super submissive or super strong or super whatever. You can give them any aspects or traits that you want to give them. And so it allows you to really play with and explore those extremes of dominance and submission. I want to say something about these toys because I've reviewed, as anyone who follows the channel will know, quite a lot of sex toys in my time. And I've reviewed them from the quite affordable ones right up to the really fancy, really expensive ones. These products are absolutely excellent. Like, I kid you not, they are incredible. Nothasaur have won awards for their designs. The designs are so creative. I've never seen anything like it. So if you really want to get into that fantasy, into that storyline, I mean, it really takes you there. I mean, you might look at this and think, oh my goodness, that's disgusting. Yeah, that's kind of the point, right? You want that idea of the terrifying or the ferocious or the weird, right? And the way they design it is just so amazing. Check the links below, even if you're not into it, right? Just have a check on the links below. Go to Nothasaur. It's pretty amazing. They're pieces of art, and I've never really seen anything like it. They're all made from 100% high quality platinum silicone. They're body safe and premium. Honestly, again, I've reviewed a lot of toys. These feel amazing. And what they've done is, whereas this one, for example, might look a bit terrifying, you get to have that fantasy of it being a bit terrifying, whereas it feels really good. I mean, it's super soft. I don't know if you can see, but it's super, super soft. And it feels absolutely incredible. So you get that fantasy, right, of the weird or the spooky or the kind of the scary, right, the teeth and everything, but actually it feels really, really good. So it's very, very clever. There's so much love and care, I think, put into these products, and such a beautiful like community around it. So yeah, check it out and maybe see if you find it interesting. You never know. The fourth reason why people are perhaps into this is because of the psychological safety that fantasy fetish gives you. So when you have a fantasy about a human being, you've got to include the feelings and the emotions perhaps that human being brings along with it. But with a fantasy character, they don't necessarily have to have human emotions, right? So if you're having a sexual experience with a dragon, you don't necessarily have to worry about what that dragon is thinking. You don't necessarily have to worry about what that dragon might say to you, right? Maybe it can't speak. Yeah. You also, perhaps, for example, for women, you don't have to deal with gender imbalances. You don't have to deal with patriarchy or sexism or any of the things that might come along with it. Yeah, people who have been through difficult emotional, mental, or even sexual experiences perhaps may feel safer, psychologically, with a fantasy character. Maybe it's not a scary fantasy character. Maybe it's a lovely fantasy character, So it gives you that safety and that space to be able to create your own fantasy. And that can be really, really healing for some people. And then finally, many people in the asexual and aromantic communities can enjoy fantasy fetish. So when you are on the asexual spectrum, oftentimes you don't actually have an attraction to human beings, right? And so sometimes you can experience arousal from the idea or the connection with some kind of fantasy character. So, for example, I was speaking with a friend of mine who is asexual, and he was saying that he's never really felt attraction to other people, but there was a cartoon dinosaur, I think it was, and he kind of felt aroused by it. And sometimes he thought about that character because it gave a particular energy. He wasn't quite sure why, but it made him aroused. And asexual people, for the most part, do have libido, they do have sex drive, so they do have self-pleasure and things like that. So these type of fantasy characters can allow you a range of different feelings that do not involve humans. So if you are into this kind of stuff, or you think you would enjoy it, then I would highly, highly, highly recommend Nothasaur. Check the links below and have fun exploring. If you would like to find out more about asexuality and the asexual spectrum, then check out these videos. And if you would like to check out my other sex toy reviews, then check out these videos here. Thank you so much for listening, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye for now.